Javier Mendez, the longtime coach of Islam Makhachev, has now weighed in on the situation between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, just days after watching his own fighter lose the lightweight belt. And yes, using the word stripped fits here. Islam had no plans to vacate. He wanted to defend. But the UFC went ahead and removed him as champion anyway. So in plain terms, he was stripped. Now that Dana White has made things official and given Jon Jones a 2-week ultimatum, Javier believes it's a deadline that has to be taken seriously. However, he still feels the UFC hasn't completely run out of patience. As he puts it, the moment they hit their limit, that's when they'll officially pull the belt. But right now, they're still giving Jon room to make a move. This entire scenario is something we haven't really seen before. Tom Aspinall has not only defended his interim title, which rarely happens, but has now become the longest reigning interim champion in UFC history. He's done everything by the book, took on challengers, stayed active, and kept the division moving, while the official champ stayed inactive. And somehow, the guy with the placeholder belt is doing more for the heavyweight division than the undisputed champion. That alone tells you how out of control the situation has become.
Dana's very, very fair. He's very fair. He's always been fair. He's a man of his word. So if he says something like that, that's probably going to be the case. It's going to give him 2 weeks and that's it. Of all the years I've known him, I'm not his friend, but I know him, and I've seen him pretty much stick to what he says, and yeah, there's sometimes that things have changed, but that's because circumstances.
Coach, make it make sense. They've done the same thing with Islam and Poirier, but they cannot force Jones to do anything.
Well, Jones isn't going up to super heavyweight.
No, I know, but defend or leave.
Well, I think because
they did the same thing with Islam, defend or leave.
I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know. What do you think? But you're thinking the same thing because you're saying that. I'm thinking the same thing. I think they're going to say defend or leave, because we can't continue to have you keep, holding us with the carrot. We need an answer for you. So, yeah, but I don't think the UFC is at a point where they're fed up with it yet. Once they get fed up with it, they'll do it. Well, let's wait for 2 weeks because he said 2 weeks. So,
moving up next we have Dustin Poirier. Turned down Max Holloway Fight, wanted Gaethje Trilogy instead. Let's shift gears to Dustin Poirier, who just confirmed he wasn't really sold on fighting Max Holloway. His priority was completing the trilogy with Justin Gaethje. With only a few weeks left until his final UFC walk, the former interim champ revealed that his original goal was to run it back one more time with Gaethje, not face Max. In a clip from Full Violence, Poirier explained it. I chose Gaethje. UFC, they wanted Max for some reason. I don't know. Because he had the BMF belt, they were high on this. I was Max's first fight in the UFC, his debut fight, and he's my last fight. He's a guy I respect a lot, so it's an important fight for me. I said legends only, and Max is definitely that. And Poirier's not holding back on making this one memorable. He told Full Violence that Lil Wayne is set to walk him to the octagon on July 19th. As of right now, his guy Wayne's manager said he's in. We're still a good ways out, so we'll see. But as of right now, yes. Moving up next we have Jamal Hill sends a warning to Khalil Rountree. Jamal Hill just sent a strong message to Khalil Rountree ahead of their upcoming matchup, making it clear he doesn't believe Rountree is operating on his level. While Hill acknowledged Khalil's grit, especially after surviving a war with Alex Pereira, he still made it known he considers himself the more dangerous and complete fighter. Fresh off a TKO loss to Jiri Prochazka, Hill is more motivated than ever to climb back up the ladder and make another title push. The championship has always been his target. When Pereira had the belt, it seemed like a long road back, especially after getting dominated. But with Ankalaev now holding the gold and a rematch potentially coming together, Hill's path might be reopening. But before all that, he's got to deal with Khalil Rountree. That's no walk in the park. Hill's sharp boxing and quick hands will be going up against Rountree's explosive Muay Thai. And with this one going down on the UFC's debut card in Azerbaijan, it's guaranteed to be fireworks.
He can be explosive. We've seen that in past fights also. He swings with a lot of ferocity, so I'm thinking he's coming in to be as dangerous as possible. He's put in the work. He believes that he's right there on the cusp of being where he wants to be and where he's dreamed of, where he's put all this work in for all these years, But fortunately, he's got to go through me.
Do you feel like he's a guy who's on the level you've proven yourself to be by being champion, beating former champions?
No, I don't like that, man. That's not disrespect. I just don't see him as on my level. You know, even with the fights that he's put in, I believe his fight before Alex was, he fought Anthony. Anthony took that fight on 5 days notice. You know, so short notice fight for Anthony. I believe the second round in Anthony, the way he came out after he kind of got woken up a little bit. He showed that a full camp might even made that fight look differently.
Moving up next, we have Jon Jones retires, and Tom Aspinall is champion. Finally, the biggest development of the weekend: Jon Jones is out. Dana White officially confirmed that Jones has retired. Speaking at the post-fight presser following UFC Baku, Dana made it official. Tom Aspinall is now the undisputed heavyweight champion. Breaking: Jon Jones has retired per UFC CEO Dana White, and Tom Aspinall is now the undisputed heavyweight champion. That wraps up today's update from the MMA world. Drop a like, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribed so you're always in the loop.